Hello everyone, welcome to a 24-hour reading vlog. I am going to attempt to read for 24 hours, but it's probably going to be over a span of days because of how my life is these days, but I'm up for the challenge. When 24-hour readathon started coming around, it was legit 24 hours of reading where we did not sleep. We were up for a full 24 hours and it really was such a challenge. But I like how things kind of evolved over the years and we realized how important sleep is to us, that we're not sacrificing that for our reading, but maybe we'll sacrifice some of our household duties or responsibilities for 24 hours to read while we had some downtime. So I have a few days where my husband's out of town, so it's just me and Noah, and I think it's a great time for me to find some time reading because it's just so funny how I find that I have so much more free time when my husband is not home. But it's not like he does anything that's like in my way. I just don't get it. So I'm very excited to attempt this 24-hour readathon. And if it works out well, then maybe I can kind of pinpoint the areas in my life where I do find that I have free time, that I can kind of do this a little bit more often when he's home as well. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a timer on my phone, and anytime that I have to stop reading, I'm just going to stop the timer. And so we're going to see how many days it takes me to read for 24 hours straight. So let's get into the books that I want to read for this 24-hour readathon. So my current read is Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. This is the third book in the Imperium series. Fourth Wing is the first book. Iron Flame is the second book, and now this is our third book that we recently got, and I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. I'm just feeling like not much is happening. I'm halfway through. I'm just feeling like I need a little bit more action. And this was my problem with Iron Flame. Like, I love that book so much. It's like, you know, the whole series is God tier for me, but I just have a problem with all of the pining, like the whole back and forth. Like, I love like a strong relationship, but I feel like it's just like, okay, we get it. You guys love each other. Like, this romance is solid. Like, they don't see anybody else but each other. But, like, what is going on in, like, the world right now? Because, like, there's things happening. And we need to really pay attention to that. Like, we don't really have time to, like, take showers and have, like, steamy scenes. Like, there's things going on. But I know it's reality. Like, I know that if I didn't know if I was going to live or die tomorrow, that I would probably want to be with my husband in certain ways to get that in, but you just don't know when your last day is. But I don't know, I'm just starting to feel a little like, okay, let's get to it, which it's kind of starting to pick up now. There is, I don't want to give anything away, so there is something happening at the halfway point that's just making the story a lot more interesting, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it's going to go. So we are going to try our best to finish this, which I think there's less than 24 hours left of reading of this book. So we're going to try to finish this in this reading vlog. And then I would really love to pick up one of my February TBR books for this month. So I'm going to pick up Heavenly Bodies because this is one of my most anticipated books of the year. And the writing seems pretty like big, so I feel like I might be able to fly through this. I don't know why, it's just calling to me and I want to read it. So we're gonna start this, and then I also have like 2 other books here that I'd like to get to, which I just don't think it's gonna happen, but they're my suggestions in case like I just don't want to do these, or like when I finish Onyx Storm, may not want to be like in a fantasy world. So like I do have my book club pick for my in real life book club pick, A Flicker in the Dark by Stacey Willingham. 2 of my friends read it already and they already said it's amazing, so I might pick this up as like a palette cleanser, maybe audio. We'll see as I'm doing things around the house. And then I also started The Sword of Kaigen last month, so I really would love to get back into this because I'm loving it, but it reads slow. And I ended up reading The Way of Kings, which took up most of my month of January, which I'm so happy that I finished that book. I feel so accomplished finishing The Way of Kings. You have no idea. But all I want to do now, the way that book ended, is I just want to be in that world. But I need to give myself a break because I know it's going to consume me. And there's so many other books that I'd like to read. And February is a short month, and I have some short books on my TBR, so I need to get to those, get them done, crush some books, and then maybe in March I will pick up Words of Radiance. But wow, Stormlight is just so amazing, and I can't imagine it like not getting any more amazing. Like, it's going to just be epic. And I actually went to the bookstore the other day, and one of the booksellers there, we were just talking about, because I actually picked up How We Lose the Time War, which is a really thin book, so we started talking, and he said this is like one of his favorite books that he's ever read. And I was like, yeah, I wanted to pick up something small, which maybe we'll add this to the TBR. We'll add this to the 24-hour TBR. I wanted to pick up something small because after The Way of Kings, I just feel like my brain, and I'm reading Onyx Storm right now, like I just need something to kind of flush me out. And he was like, oh, that series. He's like, are you caught up? Like, he's like, are you going to catch up this year? And I'm like, yeah, I think that's my goal. Like, I really think that's my goal for 2025 is to catch up with Stormlight. And he didn't read Wind of Truth yet, but he said that that Oathbringer was his favorite book in the series, and it's just epic. It's one of his favorite series. So I love going to the bookstore and talking about books with people. It's just so much fun, and I just love this world that we live in with books. It's just been so amazing. But there's nothing like going to the bookstore and just finding someone you relate to who knows the books that you read, and to just talk books. It's just so great. It's like being here, you know? Yeah, so I'm so excited to get back into Stormlight, like, soon. And I'm just starting to realize, yes, I love my romantasy, and I will always love my romantasy because that's like where my heart lives. But high fantasy, man, like, it just brings you to another level. And I really hope my romantasy girlies out there that have been reading romantasy for like this last year, or like you discovered this genre and it changed your life, please pick up some high fantasy this year also, because I really think that you will love it now that you're getting used to fantasy worlds. There is nothing like it. And there was finishing The Way of Kings. It's slow, and it's a very slow burn book, and there are points where I'm like, is anything happening? Like, I just like know every detail about every character's life. But when you end it, it's just like you feel like it was such a part of you for so long. It's just such a great book. And I just can't imagine it just like getting more, like, much better, because it's like, I know it's going to, and I just can't wait to see where it goes. So that's my little rant, end of my rant right now. But so these are the books that I'd like to get to in 24 hours. Doesn't mean I'm going to read all of them, but these are my options. Besides, like, Onyx Storm is not an option. This is a must. So the must read is Onyx Storm. Then we have Heavenly Bodies, which I feel like I'm going to love. We got Flicker in the Dark and How We Lose the Time War, which I feel like will be a toss-up between the two. How We Lose the Time War might be like a quick, like, you know, read that I can really get to, like during lunchtime while Noah's napping or something like that. And Sword of Kaigen, I just need to get back into that book and get it done, because I know I'm gonna love it. I know it's gonna be a new favorite. I just do. So those are our options. So for now, I actually have plans to go to my parents' house for dinner. It's Sunday, February 2nd, Groundhog's Day. Hopefully we get an early spring. That would be really nice, because it's been very cold. But yeah, so we're gonna go to my parents, me and Noah. We're gonna go have like nice dinner, get out of the house, because we just haven't gotten out of the house for a couple days. And then we're gonna come home, and I'll probably end up reading, so I'll come on here now. But I'll come back to my video and update you with any type of reading that I do. My parents' house isn't that far of a drive, so I don't typically listen to audiobooks, because I feel like once I'm getting into the story, I'm there. So I'm probably gonna listen to a little bit of YouTube on my way there. It's Sunday, so a lot of people have uploaded their videos for the week, so I'm looking forward to picking one and just driving and getting to my parents' house. But I am very much looking forward to going to my parents' house because my dog Sadie, she lives there, and it was just her 13th birthday on Friday, which is so crazy that she's 13. She's like a pit mix, and she was a rescue, and I love her more than anything in this, I mean, besides my son, but like she was my baby. Like when I tell you baby, for all of 11 years. And then when I moved into my house with my husband, we live in a townhouse, and she was so used to having a yard and a house full of people all the time, and she just was not happy here. And it broke my heart, but for an 11-year-old dog to kind of change their ways, it was really hard. So she lives with my parents, and she loves it there, and I miss her dearly, but my parents are 7 to 10 minutes away, so I get to see her pretty often, and I'm happy about that. And Noah gets to see her, and he loves her. Like, he calls her the woof woof, you know, like he's like woof woof, you know, he barks at her, she barks at him. It's just, they're very cute. So maybe I'll get some clips of that today. But she is getting old, and old age is really getting to her. She's on medication for her arthritis. She's having a hard time getting up, things like that. So I know it's just a challenge from this point on, and I'm thankful for like every moment that I get with her. But 13 years is a really long time for a large dog like that, and we are just so blessed to have her still, and I'm just so proud of her for being who she is and what she is, and she's just an amazing dog. And if anybody knows her, you know, watching this video, you just know, like, she's amazing. She's a great dog. But on that note, I am going to go and continue on with my day, and I will update you when I have something to update you with. But so far, loving Onyx Storm, although there are parts where I'm just like, can we get to it already? But now at the 50% mark, I'm really starting to feel that way. I will say, Rebecca Yarros, thank you for the shorter chapters in this book, because it's really making reading so much easier. I will say, like, Iron Flame and even Fourth Wing, there were times where I was like, oh my god, this chapter is just so, like, it's like a big run-on sentence. Like, we need to end this chapter and start somewhere else. Like, I just felt like it was a trudging the mud. Is that the right way to say it? Treading the mud? Treading the mud? Sometimes with those books. But Onyx Storm is definitely perfectly done, editing-wise. So, thank you for that. Okay. So that is it. I will update you guys in the next clip, because you guys won't know how much time has gone, and hopefully I've read something. I'm going to bring my Kindle with me, so maybe I'll be able to read a little bit, have something for you before midnight tonight. But talk to you soon. Hello everyone. So I'm just checking in with a reading update. I have like 4 hours left of the Onyx Storm audiobook, right? That's what, yeah. I decided to buy the audiobook. It was, I think it was like $7.40 or something like that on Audible. So I decided to buy it. Because I just have, like, I'm finding myself like starting to fall asleep as I'm reading this book. So I'm like, maybe if I listen to it, maybe I'll have like a different feel. Yeah, I'm just not having any, like, I'm not having much fun anymore reading this book. I'm not enjoying the story anymore. I'm kind of tired of the romance. Like, I get it. We all get it. Like, Xaden and Violet love each other. There's no one else in the world for each other. You know, their love has no bounds. Like, I'm tired of this story. And every time something, like, I feel like something good's gonna happen, it's just kind of like, it's almost like a dog chasing its tail, this book. That's the best way I could describe it. And I'm really disappointed in it. And I don't like being that way about books because I know how hard it is to write a book, and especially a series, but I just am starting to feel that, and this may be harsh, so take it with a grain of salt, but I don't think Rebecca Yarros is a fantasy writer. I think she had a great idea for a story, and she nailed it with Fourth Wing. And then when Iron Flame was published, it was poorly edited, and it was just a word dump, info dump of a book. And the first time I read it, I hated it. Just like how I'm starting to feel about Onyx Storm. And the problem is, like, she writes characters wonderfully, but it's the plot that is just lost for me. I just don't understand what's happening right now. And it's like, there's always a shocking death. There's always that happening. But like, why? I'm just starting to feel like, why? And I'm just not having fun anymore. I'm just not having fun. And I'm really like, I'm not curious to see where the series goes. I heard some spoilers about how this book ends, and I'm just like not looking. Oh, I just moved my whole desk with my foot. I'm just not looking forward to the ending of this book because it's just like a trope that I'm just not into, and I'm kind of upset that I heard a spoiler. But the way the internet is these days, you can't really avoid them. I try to avoid them as much as I can, but yeah, I'm just not having fun anymore, and I'm really disappointed. So I'm going to pick up another book before I go to sleep. I'm going to read something. So I have my stack here. So like, I don't know if I want to might want to take a break from fantasy romance, maybe like dive into a romance. This is so hard. It's like so hard. What does it say? 22 hours and 13 minutes left in my 24-hour readathon here. I have a lot of other timers here. We're just gonna get rid of some of these because I don't know what I was using them for. Oh, probably for my client's hair. That's why. A lot of these. Okay, so I have 22 hours and 14 minutes technically left of this readathon. Oh my god, that was a big yawn. Holy shoot. So let's see, what about my day? I came home from my parents' house around like 5:30, fed Noah his dinner. He was kind of in rare form today. He is teething, and he's like getting molars now, so it's been a little tough. So he's a bit of a, you know, a little bit of a cranky baby lately, but he's so cute. He's just like the cutest thing. Like his new thing is, all he does is shout my name all day long. Like if I leave the room, if I'm in the room, it doesn't matter, he's yelling my name. But when we're like sitting together, or I'm like reading him a story or just talking to him, he goes, "Mama, ugh, ugh," and he wants to hug, and we hug. And it's just so cute because he like throws himself on me, like no arms to hug. He just like, it's just so cute. So I'm loving that. So today was nice. Got to see Sadie, my parents. We had dinner, hung out. It started to snow, so I went home a little earlier than I expected to, but that's okay. And yeah, I just cleaned. I hung out with Noah. I put him to sleep by 8 o'clock. He had a bath. And then I put my audiobook in and put the Grammys on and cleaned up a bit. And so now I'm here. So I think it's 9:30 now. Oh my gosh. And I think what I'm gonna really do is just like wash my face and get into bed and just read something. I need to take a break from Onyx Storm because I'm just like disappointed, but I also really just want to finish it. So I'm debating if I should just power through tonight, but I'm mad. I'm mad at it because I'm just disappointed. And now like I'm disappointed at the series as a whole because I'm just so annoyed by the love story in this now. Like Violet is becoming really annoying to me, and Xaden is becoming really annoying to me because like really bad things can happen, and like somebody could be like almost murdered, and it's like Xaden just comes out of nowhere and it's like, Violet is the only one for me, and it's like, no one asked you. Like, no one asked. And like, that's not what people think in a situation like that. Like, no one's thinking about that. So I'm just so annoyed with this series now. And looking back on it, like, yeah, he's like a great book boyfriend and everything. But come on, I just need more story. I need more plot. We kind of lost sight of what's happening. And maybe I'm just missing something, but I'm starting to see other people's reviews, and like other people are feeling the same way as I do, so I'm not alone here. But I just need more of a world. Like, we got the romance, we have it. We had it in the first book, we got it in the second book. This third book needed to be something epic, and it's just giving me like middle book syndrome, just like how Iron Flame was kind of middle book syndrome. And now I'm just worried for the series as a whole because I'm just bored out of my mind, and I just don't think I'm gonna be excited for the fourth one. And yeah, so I mean, I'll probably read the fourth book, but I don't think I'm going to be like drop my whole TBR for it kind of situation. Yeah. So I need to read something good. I need to read something good. So here are my two. Well, I really want to read Heavenly Bodies. That is, you know, a thing. But I feel like I need a break from like fantasy romance right now because it's just annoying. Or like I could pick up a romance, which I have two books that I really would love to read that are not on my TBR this month, but Binding 13, well, Binding 13 is on my TBR for February, so I really would love to get to this book, or Daisy Hates as well. So, I mean, I can't even, maybe I'll put a poll on my Instagram right now and see what you guys pick for me to read tonight. But everyone says this book, like, you just can't put it down. So I need to know why. Oh, this is so hard, but I have so many books to read. I got so many books to read. But I also have The Sword of Kaigen as well, which I started this. So I probably really should continue this. But then I have This Is How We Lose the Time War, which is a short book. And I might be able to just like fly through it and like have an enjoyable read. This is so hard. Oh, and look how big the rating is in here. I think I'm gonna go with this. So, This Is How We Lose the Time War. This is gonna be my nighttime read tonight. And I will check back in with you tomorrow. I am going to go wash my face, get into my comfiest PJs, which is this is like one of the comfort, you know, like those TikTok famous comfort hoodies. I sleep in this. I love this. It's like a weighted sweatshirt, and I don't know if it really is, like, it's just like polyester cotton blend, but it's just so comfortable and I just love it so much. So I live in this. So I'm gonna change my pants, keep this on, wash my face, get into bed, and read for a little while. And I will be checking back in tomorrow morning. Hopefully I have a couple more hours read. Maybe I will have finished this book. We shall see. Or have started something else. I don't know. My brain is everywhere. I'm in like a mood reading mood. I just want to read everything, but obviously you can't read everything all at the same time. It's a problem. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next clip tomorrow at some sort of time. Bye. Hello everyone. I am in my kitchen cooking dinner, reading my book. My son is actually going through his books and making a huge mess. You can kind of see. Noah, are you having fun with your books? Yeah? Okay. Yeah, we made a nice mess of blocks and books for today. But I am currently reading, and I wanted to kind of check in with what I'm reading because I decided to like kind of go off the whole TBR that I chose for this vlog and pick up Ruthless Fae, which is the second book in the Zodiac Academy series, because I did start this before Onyx Storm and I kind of put it aside. So now I'm like, why don't I just finish a book that I had already started? So Ruthless Fae, reading this now. I love this book so far. I love everything about Zodiac Academy so far. It's fun, but I am starting to feel a little bit burnout from romantasy and like smut and things like that. So I think this is gonna be my last romantasy for a little while, and then pick it back up maybe next week or something like that. But for this vlog, this will be probably like my last romantasy, and then I think I'm gonna pick up How We Lose the Time War. Like I said to you earlier in this vlog, I think that's gonna be a fun book to get into and read. And it's short, so it's perfect for a 24-hour reading vlog. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for now. I am making like a chicken soup for dinner because Noah's teething and it's just something soothing. I just always think soup is soothing, and it's the winter still, so there's nothing wrong with a soup. We went to Target earlier, got out of the house. It's like 50 degrees today, but now it's starting to get cold again as the sun goes down. I feel like spring is around the corner. I know that the groundhog said no, but I feel it. So yeah, so that's it. Didn't do any food shopping today. Maybe do that tomorrow. So I'll maybe do like a little bit of a haul to show you guys. But so for now, in this 24-hour reading vlog, I have 21 hours left and 31 minutes, and it's been a whole 24 hours since I started this vlog, like reading. Well, no, not reading, but like started this vlog. So that's one whole day so far, and it took me, what, 3 hours? 3 hours for one whole day of reading. So we got a lot of catching up to do. I have a feeling that this vlog is going to be a week long because of how things have been going here. And it's kind of hard to sit down and read. And when you have a second, you know, I'm updating or I'm cleaning or whatever. So I'm gonna keep this clip short. I'm gonna get back to my cooking. I'm gonna get back into Zodiac Academy, Book 2, Ruthless Fae. I am on page 99. And yeah, I'm excited. I know the third book is coming out in this format in a week or so, so I need to definitely pick that up. I'm liking these so much better than the original paperbacks because they're just floppier and like easier to hold, easier to read. The originals were very like heavy, thick paperback, indie paperback, shiny, and I'm just not into that. So I'm really happy that they got independently. I'm happy that they got like mainstream published now. So the printing is just so much better for these books, and I actually sold my original copies on Pango, which I'm kind of like sad about because I feel like I'm gonna regret that later, but I just don't enjoy holding them and reading them, so why am I gonna keep them on my shelves? I really need to be picky about what I keep on my shelves lately because I have no room. I have absolutely no room. So I'm gonna get back into this and I will update you with a reading update, how far along I've gotten, and if I've changed my mind at all about my book that I'm reading at this moment. Hello everyone, so I'm just gonna update you now because I have like a moment while my son watches Miss Rachel. It's like 2 days later since I last updated this vlog because I just got so busy. And I was reading though, I finished Onyx Storm, which is like big news. I am very unimpressed. And obviously the last time I updated, which maybe I'll put this down. Let's see. Let me sit my chair. Yeah, so I was very let down by Onyx Storm. I don't really know, like, I don't know if I'm gonna continue on with the series. Like, that's just how I'm feeling right now. I don't like how it ended. I just feel like it was very like not creative enough of an ending for a third book. It's definitely giving middle book syndrome to me, and like I said previously, I just feel like I was a dog chasing its tail for so long reading this book. Like, I enjoy actually physically reading books more so than listening to audiobooks, but I needed to finish this on audio because I just was falling asleep every time I picked this book up, and I just don't want to read about Xaden and Violet's sexual relationship anymore. The smut is just, I'm over it. I'm more interested in the world. I'm more interested in the world that she's building, and every time we get somewhere, it's like we get pulled back into like a smutathon, and I'm just over it. I'm just over it. And maybe because I've read too many romantic books lately that I'm just kind of like over it. So I have to say, I gave Onyx Storm 3 stars, and I feel like that's the best that I could do for it, because it just wasn't my favorite. It just wasn't my favorite at all. And I was even like teetering on like the 2.5 star. Like, I was just like not having fun reading this book, and I was so excited. And I don't know if it's because like the anticipation of it was so grand, but like thinking back on my ratings of this series, I think I felt this way about every book. Now, like, I read Fourth Wing and I was like, I get the hype, but like I don't get why it's like so popular. Like, I understand why it's popular, but the amount of hype that it gets, I still just don't understand it, because there's so many other books that I've read that deserve the hype more. And yeah, so I feel that way about every book in the series. And then I look back and I rated the books really high, but I have to say, like, I'm proving my ratings wrong, and like really sitting and thinking with it, like as a whole, this is like a 3-star series for me. Because if you think of like the page count, the word count, the things that happen, and it needs work. And like, I think it could have been done so much better. Everything about this third book could have been done so much better. And I'm not knocking Rebecca Yarros as a writer. I think she's a great writer. I think editing was a problem here. I think there were things that she was told to put in for content because it's popular right now, but I think Rebecca Yarros could really go far with the fantasy and plot of this story, so much more than like having to sneak those smut scenes in that were just so taking us out of the story. So yeah, I'm just disappointed. So I've been just kind of like sitting here and I'm like, what am I in the mood to read? Like, I just don't want to read smut. I don't want romance right now. I don't know, I'm just feeling numb and like slumpy, but not in a good way. Like, I'm not feeling slumpy because I just read a book that like I anticipated for so long and it wasn't good to me. And I'm just like, oh my God. I am really like debating on picking up Words of Radiance, because the way that The Way of Kings ended, if you know, you know, I really just, all I keep thinking about is that book. So I almost want to pick that up. And I am also currently like reading a book for my book club. I'm reading a book for Chris and Mad's book club on Patreon. So I don't know what I'm going to read next. But I have 9 hours left of reading to do, so I need to make a decision on that now. I would love to like the books that I picked previously in the beginning of this vlog, like I'm just not in the mood for them. I really just don't want to read any romantasy at the moment. I'm also like, I don't know, maybe I will read this. This Is How You Lose the Time More. I think I'm going to pick this up now, because I just need something that's going to like wash my brain of what I just finished. And then I'm reading the Wayward Pines series with Chris and Mad's book club. The first book we're reading this month, and then I have A Flicker in the Dark for my book club, which I need to go through and tab my daily readings for. I don't know if I'm going to get to that this week. I think I want to wait till like closer to our book club meeting to have everything fresh in my brain. And then I was debating on, which I have it downstairs, reading The Lord of the Rings, because Chris and Mads, they just keep talking about it, and I'm just like, I need to read that. I never read The Lord of the Rings. So yeah, this is a true story, this is a true diary entry, video diary entry of a mood reader. This is literally what goes on in our brains, like when we don't know what we want to read. So, okay, well, I'm gonna go figure that out, and next clip I will update you. 9 hours left, day 4 of vlog. Okay, so I am back with a reading update. It's almost a whole week later since I started this 24-hour reading vlog, but I just haven't been able to like update you. But I will say it took Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It took me 4 days to read for 24 hours, which is like a really long time, I feel like. But obviously things happen, life is busy, all of that. But I will say I was able to finish like 2 more books in the 24-hour reading vlog. Well, almost finished 2 more books. So last I updated you, I finished Onyx Storm, which like the more I sit on it, I think I'm gonna make the rating a little higher, because I think I did enjoy it a lot more than I said I did previously. But I think I'm just so annoyed with like the romance part of the book, because I'm just not liking how Xaden, his personality has been, and like we get it, they're like, you know, that their romance is like what makes them make the decisions that they make because they love each other and all of that gushy stuff, and the reason why things happen is because of like the romance in the book. But I just was feeling like a little, like it was just too much for me, the smutty scenes, and I kept feeling like it was taking me out of the story just when things started just going and happening. So I'm gonna bring my rating up to 4 stars, because I definitely enjoyed it a lot more than like a 3-star. I think I was just a little angry about those parts in the book. And I'm also a little angry at the ending. I have to say, I think the ending could have been done a little bit better. I was a little confused on how the ending, like what happened at the end, and like why. I just feel like it was kind of came out of like left field through like the buildup of everything and like the direction that things were going in. I just wasn't expecting that type of ending. So I think that's a little bit of a disappointment factor. But getting into the books that I read afterwards, because I'm feeling so slumpish after reading Onyx Storm, I got into The Sword of Kaigan, which I have right here, and I'm giving this like a 3.5, again, like 4-star. And there's nothing, like I could see why people think that this is like their favorite book of all time. Like, this is a beautiful story. It's an amazing story. It's just not the type of book that I normally go to. So I had a little tough time with the names and the dialogue. So I did listen to this on audio once I got to like the halfway point, because I just felt like if I listen to it on audio, I'll enjoy it a little bit better because of all the names and the dialogue that is in the story. And it's a great audiobook, so I highly suggest it. I highly suggest listening to it if this also is not something that you typically would go for, because it is a great story and I think everyone should read it. I think it has a lot of messages in it, and as someone who is a mother and who has her own family, and you know, it's definitely tugs on those heartstrings a lot, and it makes you like really appreciate the loved ones that you do have in many ways. And I love the author. I think she's great, and I can't wait to pick up more books. I do have Blood Over Brighthaven, so I'm definitely going to be checking that out for sure. But this was a really great read for me, and I'm so happy that I got to it. I didn't think I was going to. Like, I know it was on my 2025 TBR, and I said I was going to get to it, but I didn't think I was going to, because it's intimidating to me. And I knew that it would make me cry, and all those, you know, feeling things that maybe I wasn't ready for yet, and this type of topic and the things that happen in here, I don't think I was mentally ready for it, but I just dove right in, and I'm happy that I did. And it is a beautiful story. It's just not a 5-star book for me, because it's just not, I did struggle a little bit, and it's just not my typical book that I normally go for. But I'm happy that I read it, and I'm happy that I was able to read something a little different than my normal books. And then I am currently in the middle of one of my book club books for Chris and Mad's book club over on Patreon. We are reading The Wayward Pines book 1, but we're all kind of really loving the series, so I think everyone's just gonna finish books 1, 2, and 3, which I have on my Kindle, so I'm currently reading that. I'm at the 65% mark on book 1, and I'm really loving it. This is like a crazy story, and this is what makes me love thrillers, and I haven't read many thrillers and like sci-fi type books in a while, and Blake Crouch is just such a great author for me. His writing just really jives with my brain and how it works, and I love this. So I definitely plan on continuing. So I will say that I got a decent amount of books done for this 24-hour reading vlog. I'm glad that I was able to finish Onyx Storm. I'm glad that I was able to read The Sword of Kaigan, and I'm glad that I got into one of my book club books. So that's 3 books technically for the week, which is a lot for me. I normally only do like a book a week if I can. So to be able to read 3 books was pretty successful. And yeah, so I'm happy about that. I'm about to sit down and film another video, so hence why like I'm all like ready to go. I just wanted to close out this vlog so I could post it for you because I filmed a few clips here and I'm like, I can't trash this. And Onyx Storm, I needed to talk about it with you guys before my wrap up. It was just, you know, how I feel, and I feel like my feelings and my emotions on this book are just all over the place in this vlog, but I think a lot of us kind of felt that way too because it was just so highly anticipated. But the longer that I sit on it, the more I know that I enjoyed it. I'm just being really picky about it because it's a book that I was waiting for so long, and I invested so much time, and I just wanted a little bit more to happen and a little less of certain things to happening, and just a little bit more plot and a little bit more adventure and a little bit more explanation of these new characters that just popped in out of nowhere. And I think a lot of us feel the same way, so we'll see what book 4 brings, but I am okay with taking a little bit of a break from the Imperium world for a little bit and reading some more book series, which I have back here, which will be in my next video. So on that note, that's the end of this 24-hour reading vlog. It's probably all over the place. My next vlog, maybe we'll go book shopping or something like that just to get out of the house a bit, but I really haven't been out of the house that much because I've been working from home and the weather's been kind of like not that great, so we really haven't been going many places. But next vlog, maybe we'll go somewhere. But yes, that is it for this reading vlog. I hope you enjoyed it, hanging out with me, not doing much, but let me know if you read any of these books in the comment section down below, and give me some book recommendations, some books that have really been your 5 stars recently in 2025. I would love to know what you're reading. And yeah, so that is it. That is all I have for you, and I'll be talking to you guys soon. Bye.